Did you know that over time people tend to stay at about the same amount of happiness? Pretty much no matter what. All of the dramatic events of the past 70 years, both good and bad, the Korean War, the Civil Rights Movement, the moon landing, the Vietnam War, the Cold War, Watergate, the fall of the Soviet Union, the Gulf War, 9/11, the invasion of Afghanistan and Iraq. None of them mattered. And that's because, contrary to popular opinions, there is a limit to the amount of happiness you can feel even in the best of times. So in this video, I want to explain how you'll never be too happy and why that is a bloody good thing, people. Now, if there is one thing I want you to take away from this video, is that the priority for our emotional system and bodies is always to maintain stability. No matter what your expectations for happiness is, your body wants to keep you balanced. Technically speaking, it's called homeostasis. Homeo for similar and stasis for state, similar states. Your body tries to keep you in similar states all the time. For instance, tiredness comes in when you need more sleep, fear when you need more safety, and loneliness when you need more friends around, right? And there are lots of things happening pretty much below your awareness, all around the clock, to keep things just right. In starvation experiments, for example, quite normally, people become obsessed with food. I become obsessed with food when I do fastings. The hunger system makes you feel ravenous when you need to eat and bloated when you need to stop eating. It's an ingenious system, isn't it? And every day that you don't pee in your pants, you have to thank for a control system for pee retention, people. So, well, coming back to happiness. We already know that we have ways to make ourselves happier when we feel sad, right? But imagine this. Your girlfriend dumps you. And that makes you sad, right? But you call your mom so that she can tell you that you are a beautiful boy and that everything is gonna be okay. That makes you really happy again. But then you walk down the street and see your now ex-girlfriend with another boyfriend again. Oh my God, that makes you really depressed now. But wait, there is an ice cream bar there, your favorite ice cream bar, thank God. Why not have that gorgeous handmade gelato? It's Italian after all. That will make you feel securely happy until you drop your gelato on the pavement. So then I'm back calling my mother again. Oh, Mom, I dropped my gelato. Oh, my boy, don't worry. You're still the most beautiful boy in the world. I love you so much. You're my favorite. If only we could avoid feeling sad altogether, right? Isn't that what we are all wishing for at some level? But imagine your body is a house you want to fill up with warmth or happiness, so you can feel always comfortable and warm and happy. But listen up, because if you only had a mechanism to turn up the heat, there would be nothing to stop your happiness levels from overheating the house. In mental states comparison, that is like your happiness taking you into a manic state. You cannot grow happiness indefinitely. You'll do very weird things if you do. Listen to what a client told me some time ago. In 1 month, I blew my entire savings, 50K on a house. Started taking on crazy projects at work. I bought a whole new wardrobe. I went on like 100 dates. Then it all came crashing down after somehow traveling to a new city and wandering at night and midnight and being picked up by the police of all people with no phone and no idea where I was. Here's another one I found on an internet forum. Suddenly I thought I was a psychic. I bought crystals, I did long intense meditations. I basically thought I was gifted to help others communicate with the other side. Then a spirit attached itself to me from like a war ground. And it was like a mother awaiting her son. I tried to release her spirit, and the snake then attacked my third eye, and so said spirit now wanted to take my son with her to the other side. I started going down after that. I poured salt all over the house outside, went to see a psychic, ended up in an emergency room, tapping my head to get the spirits out of my chakras, and plot twist, I'm not even religious. And this last one, I got enough signatures to run for mayor. Which speaks of some realities we all know. Your emotions counterbalance one another to maintain the status quo level of happiness that was set early on in your childhood experiences. But if that mechanism doesn't work, then we get depression or mania, or even both with cases of bipolar disorder. Both extremes are bad. Depressed people can't get out of bed, but many people can't get into bed. So we need both, a heater and a hair conditioner for emotions. Put this way, the human tendency to adjust to good things by counterbalancing your winning the lottery in your career or business or intimate relationships with thoughts like, oh, that's just luck, nothing to really count on. Or, damn, now I have to pay dinner for all my colleagues and friends without any excuses. This is a critical piece of psychological software. Without it, lottery winners would die of rapturous euphoria. If our pleasures only piled up, one on top of the other, and never dissipated, we wouldn't be able to modulate our moods to suit the needs of the moment. And eventually, we'd all end up in the hospital. Okay, now another way of looking at this pattern of happiness is by you smashing that like button now and then leaving a comment in the end. That makes me really happy. And you can be rest assured that I will drop as many gelatos as I need to come back to a regulated state. But jokes aside, another way of looking at this happiness cooling heating system is in terms of interest and meaningfulness versus apathy and pointlessness. Let's try to make sense of these analogies now. Depression as a mental illness is a feeling of apathy, a lack of interest in anything, a high awareness of the pointlessness of life, if we may say. Mania, on the other hand, is connected to the idea that everything is meaningful, everything is interesting and important. This division has a natural homeostatic component. If everything is interesting to me, then everything is at the same level of attraction to me. And that's confusing. I'd end up chasing after your likes of this video in the same way that I chase this profound pleasure of peace and wisdom in my soul, which I so care for. On the other hand, if nothing is interesting to me, I just can't know what to go towards. It's literally the same problem that everything interesting produces. I'd be stuck. We could say then that being happy is not just about the positives, but about having the right level of interest in the world. An interest that knows to go towards certain things at times, but also to pull back after a while. This also explains why we don't just eat gummy worms all the time. The first few worms are interesting and new, but after a while they become basically boring and there is no point in eating anymore. Thank God, because I've got a figure to maintain. Now let's talk about some practical tips for maintaining emotional balance in your everyday life, to keep that thermostat functioning, that is. The two most evolution-backed up ways of regulating yourselves are interactions with other human beings and taking care of your physical well-being. Social connections are crucial for emotional health. I say this everywhere and anytime I can. Make time to connect with friends and family, or if you need some new relationships in your lives, go after that new date or that new sports buddy that you crave for. Whether it's through a phone call or a video chat, or always better in person. Sharing your experiences and listening to others provides emotional regulation and supports your well-being right on from the source. Sometimes even negative interactions can provide better regulation than none at all. Literally, relationships are a thermostat in and of themselves. Pay careful attention to this in your life. Your physical health then is closely linked to your emotional well-being. Regular exercise, a balanced diet, and adequate sleep are really essential for keeping your emotions in check. Even simple activities like daily walk or eating a nutritious meal can have a big impact on your well-being and how you feel, this regulation that we've been talking about. If you're feeling too low or too high, consider going for light exercise or a walk, or really get down regulating your sleep and awakening time, paying attention to keep those technology and devices out of your bedroom. Our modern ways of living are really screwing up with our basic homeostatic mechanisms. So monitor how much you let technology and modern day concerns overwhelm you. Avoid the trap to constantly chasing more by setting realistic goals that are achievable. Keep an eye on that "I want more" kind of drive. Break down big tasks into smaller steps and then celebrate your progress along the way. Feel the gratitude that you have for having achieved little steps, as that will slow you naturally down. This helps maintain a sense of accomplishments and keeps your motivation in check. On a less basic level, there is then mindfulness and meditation as well, which is taking just a few minutes each day to focus on your breath and be present in the moment to reduce stress and help you manage your emotions. And then there is journaling, which is writing down your thoughts and feelings to help you process and understand these better every day. Actually, I've just published a whole new interview with Leonard Capozzi, a mindfulness and meditation stress reduction instructor, and I think you'll find that interview very interesting, so go and check it out. I'd love to hear about your own experiences with emotional regulation. Have you ever felt like your emotions were out of control, out of you being too happy or too sad? What strategies have you found helpful in maintaining your emotional balance? Please share your stories in the comments below, or give this video to a friend who you think hasn't quite understood the balancing act of happiness. We really need to get this message out because we have almost stigmatized bad emotions and put on a pedestal happy emotions. More. That's the philosophy we're going by. We need to create a philosophy of equanimity and balance. Hope that helps out. Look after your heart. I'm your shrinking Bansko, and I will see you soon.